Stocks stage a stunning rally. Is now the perfect time to sell? In today's cover story, some airports tighten up rules to stave off the Ebola virus. And the City of Big Shoulders welcomes major venture capitalists. Plus, what happens next at the box office is a real cliffhanger. First Business starts now.
You're watching First Business. Financial news, analysis, and today's investment ideas.
Good morning, I'm Angela Miles. It's Thursday, October 9th. In today's first look, off to a solid start. Alcoa easily topped Wall Street estimates on earnings as its aluminum business improves. Shares rose around 2% last night on heavy volume after the close. Gap CEO Glenn Murphy is stepping down next year. He will be replaced by Art Peck, who is head of the digital division at Gap. Gap shares fell 8% following the news. Apple says to get set for a special event October 16th, a multiple financial hack attack. Citigroup, ADP, and E-Trade are among the firms that may have been hit by the same hackers who breached JP Morgan's operations. And a Fed-fueled rally. The Dow soared 275 points, the Nasdaq raced up 84, and the S&P closed out with a 34-point jump. Gold edged up $11 and oil lost $1.18. Trader Todd Horwitz of Average Joe Options joins us now for a closer look at the market action. Hello, Bob.
Good morning, and what's up?
Well, there was a big triple-digit run for the Dow. That's up. Was this a relief rally because of the Fed minutes?
You know, I think it was a rally because of the Fed. I think we're seeing the continuation of the free money flow. And as long as investors and traders feel that there's going to be cheap money, they're going to keep chasing after yield, pouring it into the stock market. However, I do think this is a great selling opportunity.
You call this market the selling opportunity of a lifetime. 1926, I'm hearing, was a magic number for a buy signal on the S&P 500. So why do you see this as a sell now?
You know, when we have market rallies like we're having now, this was a vicious rally yesterday. Vicious, hard rallies are only typically favorable in a market that is going to go down. And we've seen this over history. When there's low volatility in markets drift higher, that's a bull market. When we get these vicious rallies, those are usually great opportunities to sell.
Great to have you here. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Time now to say good morning to my colleague Chuck Coppola for an update on the Ebola outbreak. Hello, Chuck.
Angie, in today's cover story, the Centers for Disease Control will soon implement new health screenings at U.S. airports. That's after the first Ebola fatality in the U.S. connected to the West African outbreak. Thomas Eric Duncan succumbed to the disease Wednesday while being treated at a hospital in Dallas, Texas. He was 42. Thomas Eric Duncan traveled from Liberia to the U.S. September 19th. On his pre-flight questionnaire at Monrovia Airport, he reportedly did not declare that he'd helped transport an Ebola patient for medical treatment who died soon thereafter. President Obama reiterated that the U.S. is sending personnel and supplies to help fight the epidemic in West Africa.
We are doing it in a way that ensures our men and women in uniform are safe.
In addition, the Centers for Disease Control says it will begin screening passengers at U.S. airports. Details have not yet been released, but published reports say they'll factor a passenger's recent travel history, particularly through West Africa, their body temperature, and any outward signs of illness.
I think it's a good idea. I think it would be tough to manage.
I live in Dallas, concerned about the outbreak, and feel that's, we might rather be safe than sorry.
Duncan did not show signs of the virus when he traveled, and skeptics say a fever is no guarantee that a passenger has been exposed to Ebola. But aviation analyst Joe Schwieterman says that the number of arriving passengers screened at U.S. airports will likely be low.
The African market is minuscule compared to what we've had in the past with the Asian flu disease and so forth. So I think this can be done without massive delays, massive staffing up at the airports.
World Health Organization says Ebola has killed more than 3,400 people in West Africa, including 370 healthcare workers. The International Air Transport Association says global share prices for airlines fell 4% last month. The Trade Association for Air Carriers blames investor concerns over the spread of Ebola.
Turning now to other news this morning, dramatic moves in GT Advanced Technologies may not be over. Shares have been on a wild ride this week, falling from $11 to 83 cents on Monday. GT Advanced filed for bankruptcy this week following concerns Apple would not be using GT Sapphire to build displays for Apple's new iPhones. Apple's response to the Chapter 11 filing: "We are focused on preserving jobs in Arizona following GT's surprising decision, and we will continue to work with state and local officials as we consider our next steps." Reuters reports GT Advanced Technologies will be in court this morning for a bankruptcy hearing. The stock closed last at $1.10.
Sears investors go on a selling spree. Shares fell 15% Wednesday before recovering with about a 5% loss. Bloomberg reports insurers backing Sears suppliers are trying to reduce coverage. Sears says, "We are meeting our obligations and have ample inventory and liquidity to operate our business."
Investors are underwhelmed by comments coming from JCPenney CEO. During yesterday's analyst meeting, JCP CEO Mike Allman said, "We're back, we're driven, we're once again competing effectively." But at the same time, the retail chain is pulling back on its third quarter sales guidance to the low single digits compared to the previous mid-single digit range. At one point during the trading session, JCP shares were halted due to overwhelming volatility. The stock closed lower by 10%.
Falling oil prices are having a global impact. In the U.S., gas prices just hit a new low for the year. AAA reports that the national average fell to $3.26 per gallon. But it doesn't stop there. AAA predicts prices will fall to between $3.10 and $3.20 nationwide by the end of the year. Oil fell to $87 yesterday. The drop in crude is chipping away at Russia's currency, the ruble. Oil exports have a significant effect on Russia's economy. Russia's currency fell to a new low, 40 to the dollar.
A number of delivery developments are coming from UPS. After the Christmas snafu of not being able to keep up with the last-minute rush last year, UPS and FedEx are asking retailers to offer deals in the middle of December and to stagger sales around the nation. UPS is also putting the brakes on undelivered items by making it possible for customers to drop off or pick up packages at grocery or convenience stores.
Well, even as the holiday season with its crush of customers draws closer, retailers, including Walmart, are cutting health insurance benefits for 30,000 employees working 30 hours or less. Target and Trader Joe's made similar moves. One labor relations professor contends that the Affordable Care Act could be used as a scapegoat by some companies.
It's clearly Walmart saying, here's how we benefit our shareholders. And we ask the general public, and ironically, the same consumers who are relatively lower middle income, to take on the extra burden by using their tax dollars to subsidize the people that will be getting insurance on the exchanges. It's really rather diabolical on the part of Walmart.
Companies say the cost of health care is crippling their profits.
A pay raise for 2 million home health care workers may not happen at the first of the year. The Obama administration now says the pay bump won't be fully enforced until 2016. The Labor Department will begin discretionary actions against companies in July. A 1974 law exempts nursing assistants and home health care workers from minimum wage and overtime.
Investors applaud SolarCity's new bright idea. Shares of the solar panel maker shot up 3% yesterday after rolling out a new program that will let homeowners buy products directly from the company. Currently, homeowners sign leases on products from a third party. SolarCity says payments will be based on how much solar power is generated per month.
IBM's Smarty Pants computer system, Watson, is living large in Manhattan. IBM opened the New York City headquarters for the Watson Group yesterday. The tech company says Watson is already attracting new clients and startups using Watson's power in cognitive services and apps.
Well, they're making a huge initial push on cognitive computing and Watson, and really their leverage of their power processor and their open power consortium. So this is the IBM really kind of going to war with Intel and using artificial intelligence as their primary weapon.
That was tech analyst Rob Enderle. IBM shares rallied nearly 2% on Wednesday.
Symantec is considering splitting up its business. Bloomberg News reports that the software company is considering breaking off its security software unit from its data storage business. The stock rallied 3% on the news. The business breakup strategy is becoming a common maneuver in tech. eBay and Hewlett-Packard have unveiled similar plans.
In our IPO watch today, Citigroup is set to file an IPO for its subprime consumer lending arm called OneMain Financial. There will be more than 1,100 lending branches. Citi could raise above $1 billion. Among IPOs to watch this week, cloud software developer HubSpot, ticker symbol Hubs, Diplomat Pharmacy, ticker DPLO, and Dave & Buster's trading under Play.
Americans are living longer than ever before. Life expectancy for a child born in 2012 is now 78 years, 9.5 months. That's up 6 weeks from life expectancy in 2010 and 2011. However, living longer is presenting financial challenges. AARP's Deborah Banda says half of workers over 50 fear that they won't have enough money for health care expenses in retirement.
You know, a lot of people do have their head in the sand when it comes to saving for retirement, and our message is it is never too late to start saving. If you can start putting away some money now, that's money that you wouldn't have had otherwise.
AARP's Healthcare Costs Calculator lets users plug in personal information to get an estimate of future healthcare expenses.
Checking corporate earnings, Costco had a killer quarter. Strong back-to-school sales and higher membership fees helped the retailer top Wall Street's expectations for the first time in 5 quarters. The stock rallied $3. At Monsanto, a record corn and soybean harvest are weighing on the seed company's bottom line. Stock dropped 1% as the company lowered its profit forecast for the year. Yum Brands also lowered its outlook. Sales dropped in China as the operator of KFC suffers fallout from the expired meat scandal. Sales were mixed in the U.S. That stock rallied $1. On the earnings calendar for today, it's Family Dollar, Helen of Troy, and PepsiCo. On the economic outlook, initial and continuing unemployment claims, wholesale inventories, and natural gas inventories. Still to come, bad data sparks the year's best rally. A trader tells us what he's doing next. Plus, can Netflix transform Adam Sandler's movie career? And the Midwest city that is becoming the next startup hotspot.
I've got a small business, and everybody said you should be promoting it with Facebook.
Well, I use Facebook for myself, but I had no idea how to use it for my plumbing business.
Then I heard about web.com.
They told me they would build a professional Facebook page for my business free.
So I gave them a call.
And then they built me a Facebook page for free. I couldn't believe it.
If you call web.com now, you can have a new Facebook page built for your small business free. We even write posts for your Facebook page that will get people talking about you.
It's like I have this whole big social media department for my business.
Call now and web.com will build your new Facebook page free. Then we'll continue to bring you new fans, write posts for you, and report on results, all for one low monthly fee. If not, cancel and pay nothing.
Now people call me and say, I found you on Facebook. How cool is that?
You say it, we build it free.
Call 1-800-995-3880 today.
Startup City, home to the Midwest startup scene, is picking up the pace and attracting venture capitalists. On set with us this morning, billionaire investor J.B. Pritzker, who is leading the charge to attract money to the Chicago area. Great to have you on a show today.
Thanks for having me.
What do you think about venture capital funds helping entrepreneurs around the nation?
Well, actually, it's been something I've been engaged in for almost 20 years now. It's one of the most exciting things you can do to, you know, I grew up in a household where my father was building a business. He was an entrepreneur, so it was an environment I'm very used to. And so when I built my own career, I wanted to be near people who are building exciting businesses. So,
why Chicago? Why the Windy City?
well, you know, it's an overlooked, you know, years ago people said this was flyover country for technology anyway. And so today it's kind of an amazing, burgeoning environment. The reason that people call it Startup City is because in just 4 or 5 years, this city's gone from having very little recognition of its technology community to being really one of the fastest growing in the country.
So you have a big event coming up on October 14th and 15th. We have a graphic to show people when and where to go here. And some pretty big names, some big heavy hitters will be coming in for this, including Peter Thiel.
We do. We have Peter Thiel, who's recently written a book, 0 to 1, fascinating. And then we've got Travis Kalanick from Uber, the CEO and founder of Uber. Pretty exciting.
Uber is working very well in Chicago. I'm not sure the cabbies are happy, but My friends love it.
Indeed. All of my friends do too, and the tech community was thrilled to know that, you know, it's not going to be shut down as there have been threats to do that in other cities. Another, by the way, signal that Chicago gets it. And then, of course, we've got Padmasree Warrior, who's the CTO of Cisco Systems and is a bit of a hometown girl because she was also the CTO of Motorola years ago. So we're glad to have her coming home.
What do you hope comes out of this event?
Well, we're bringing venture capitalists from all over the country. I say bringing, they're choosing to come. They know that a lot is going on in Chicago, and there's better technology here in a variety of arenas than there is on the coasts. So opportunity is burgeoning here, and if you've got capital and you're a venture capitalist, you know, coming to Chicago is like newfound territory. So what we're hoping to get out of it is that the venture capitalists will, upon spending some time here and learning about the 30 companies that are presenting, will see that there's a ton of opportunity that they need to focus on going forward, maybe even opening an office here.
J.B. Pritzker, just an honor to have you here today. Thank you for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Coming up, find out what traders expect from Tesla's mystery event today. Plus, it's horror versus thriller at the box office. Our film critic creeps in next. Times at the box office. Gone Girl tied for first place, but will word of mouth give that film a boost in its second weekend at the box office? Turning to our movie guy Eric Childress, what do you think?
I think it will. I saw the film a second time Friday night, and the adults in the audience, they were leaving the theater. A lot of awesomes, a lot of greats. I think it will propel it to maybe a second #1 weekend.
Also at the box office last weekend, Annabelle coming in at $37.1 million. So there you can see how close it was between Gone Girl and Annabelle.
It's October.
The Equalizer, I'm hearing great word of mouth about that film. The Box Trolls and The Maze Runner. That was kind of a tie there as well. Now coming up this weekend, Addicted, and then Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. So that's a book turned into a film.
Yes, it is.
Dracula Untold, The Judge, Kill the Messenger. Let's start with Addicted.
Addicted, a sex addiction thriller, is not being screened for critics, so
Bad sign.
skip that.
Alexander.
Disney film, I think will probably do pretty well with families. Been very well advertised.
The trailer looks adorable.
It could be. I'm hearing mixed things.
Really? Okay. Dracula Untold.
Some people are thinking that this could actually challenge Gone Girl. It is October. It's Universal's trying to reboot their monster franchise. I hear very bad things about the movie, but it could pull in some money.
The Judge.
The Judge. I saw this movie. Robert Downey Jr., Robert Duvall. It's kind of like watching an entire years of a soap opera jammed into 2.5 hours. It's not very good.
Kill the Messenger.
Kill the Messenger is an interesting film based on a true story about journalist Gary Webb, who exposed the CIA the drug trafficking that they might have been involved in. Interesting story, limited release, but hopefully people will find it because Jeremy Renner's very good in it.
So what wins at the box office? You're going with Gone Girl?
I think Gone Girl and Dracula Untold, there might be sort of a battle there at the top.
And some other news to talk about as well. Adam Sandler signing on with Netflix.
Yeah, when we talked about this last week, and we were a little kind of jokey and cynical about it, but now you have...
No, you were jokey, cynical.
Well, that's what I do. Now they have a legitimate, or maybe a formerly legitimate movie star taking on the reins, and the cynical stuff part of me is going to come out once again because Adam Sandler, we've talked about, his last few movies have not been doing very well. They've been very high budgeted because he commands a very high salary. They haven't been pulling in money for the studios. Grown Ups 2 did very well, but it was still very high budgeted, and it was an awful, terrible movie.
So Adam Sandler, not your cup of tea?
No, he shouldn't be anybody's cup of tea. His movies, have been waning at the box office recently. I think people are finally starting to catch on that he kind of has a contempt for the audience. He's just going to do the same old stuff. And even he's kind of joking about the Netflix thing. He was sort of rhyming it with some very crude terms. So we'll see how he does with this.
Okay, we'll leave you there, Eric. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you.
Still ahead, why traders will be on their toes for today's trading session, and just what will Tesla reveal. Chart Talk is next. A reversal of fortunes for traders as the market becomes more volatile. Joining us now is Matt Kavanaugh, CMZ Trading. Hello, Matt.
Hello.
Do you remember not too long ago we were talking about how tough the market was for trading because it was so dull? And here we are, Matt. Unbelievable day yesterday.
Yeah, huge day. You know, it looked like the market actually had a pretty good chance to sell off. It's been weak. We've been moving all over the place. The S&P broke some really key support levels, and then the Fed minutes came out, and wow, what a rally.
What kind of a point move are we looking at here?
Well, it was about $45 from the bottom to the peak in the S&P, so huge rally, best day of the year for the stock market, and it was all because the Fed was worried things aren't too good.
Now we enter today's trading. What will be your position here?
Well, you know, I was kind of thinking that we had a chance to go lower. Obviously, as soon as those Fed minutes came out, we rocketed up higher. So now, to me, it looks like we got a chance to stay up here. And I think that I'm going to try to keep my position tight because a lot of things aren't making sense. And we'll just kind of see what happens from here on out as we go into earnings.
Quick look at Tesla. The company rolls out some sort of new product today. Would you be a buyer of this stock?
I love the company. It's really tough for me to buy the stock at this level, but you know, just like everyone else, I can't wait to see what it is. Is it a driverless car? Is it all-wheel drive? What exactly is it? Elon Musk has stated one of his goals is to be almost completely autonomous, so can't wait to see what happens.
I just hope it's affordable for me.
Me too.
Good to have you here. Thank you, Matt.
Thank you.
That's it for today. Coming up tomorrow, a fabulous Friday, Traders Unplugged. It's Amazon versus Altria as the guys go to battle over which stock is the better buy. From all of us at First Business, thank you for watching.